Rwanda has been and continues to establish itself as an innovation hub. So much of this is attributed to the government's efforts towards supporting entrepreneurs at different stages of their entrepreneurial journeys. It is no doubt that the country is buzzing with up-and-coming innovative solutions across varying sectors. My name is Murungi Sarah, and welcome to Doing Business in Rwanda. In this episode, we explore the different integral players at different stages in Rwanda's entrepreneurial ecosystem, highlighting their success stories, individual and collaborative efforts across the ecosystem which have allowed them to thrive in their respective industries and missions. Stay tuned. Under the theme of unleashing a collaborative ecosystem, this year's Global Entrepreneurship Week has sparked conversations and paved a platform on which different ecosystem players explored more ground to forge sustainable partnerships.
We know in Rwandan culture, really, we thrive best when we collaborate. And then also that's the spirit of African Management Institute. At African Management Institute, we strongly believe in a huge collaboration, even more collaboration for entrepreneurs, because we are here for entrepreneurs. We are here to make sure that entrepreneurs have the right tools to thrive and then be successful.
So really by this theme, we envisioned really creating a platform for collaboration, not just for this week as the Global Entrepreneurship Week, but really creating a momentum throughout. We as an ecosystem continue to engage, continue to discuss, and also create avenues for collaboration.
Right. In order for the collaborative efforts across Rwanda's entrepreneurial ecosystem to be fruitful, these collaborations and partnerships should be strategic and exponential in their basis. How are the existing ecosystem players collaborating, and on what grounds?
Our biggest highlights in this year particularly is being able to partner up with entrepreneurship support institutions such as incubation programs that really helped us understand the market and also gain funding from them.
So we at AMI, we've built a lot of things, and then one of our core products called Growth Network. And then Growth Network is where we put all our graduates or participants in different networks so that they can have conversation, they can learn from each other. And then really being part of this Global Entrepreneurship Week, that is it's a topic that we at AMI have at the heart, because we believe in power of collaboration.
Through partnering with fellow entrepreneurs strategically, companies such as Flove have managed to repurpose their waste into raw materials for a counterpart business. The BDS organizations have also put effort into facilitating young businesses with the key resources to jumpstart and scale their operations. All these efforts will be fruitful without the government's support. So, what is the government doing to expedite entrepreneurship development?
One of our mandates as the Ministry of Trade and Industry is entrepreneurship development. So in 2020, we rolled out our entrepreneurship development policy, which is our overarching policy framework for supporting entrepreneurship. And within that policy, we have a number of intervention areas and focus areas where we work with entrepreneurs, and especially working on how do we develop the ecosystem in the country. And so, together with various government institutions like Ministry of ICT and Innovation, different other agencies, entrepreneurship support organizations, private sector, banks, NGOs, development partners, we establish a network of various parties that are participating in entrepreneurship and support various initiatives, much like this Global Entrepreneurship Week. Specifically, though, the government has also rolled out human resource development and capacity building within schools, right? So you'll often hear of entrepreneurship courses and curriculum in secondary schools and universities, and that's really to ensure that we can provide the right framework for students while they're studying to start thinking about innovative solutions to everyday problems. Another important element is financing, right? So we want to make sure that entrepreneurs have access to affordable finance to be able to drive some of their projects and initiatives, right? And so here I can talk of, for instance, the economic recovery funds that government put in place after the outbreak of COVID, really to help businesses recover from COVID-19. And entrepreneurs was part of that focus, right? So not just large-scale businesses, but also SMEs, micro, medium-sized enterprises, startups as well. That's one financing option. Another is what we call an export growth facility, which is geared specifically to export-oriented businesses and SMEs who are interested in expanding outside of Rwanda, right? And here we provide things like grants, subsidized interest rates, and also, and really within the next coming months, we'll roll out a guarantee fund for export activities. But there's also, of course, the BDF guarantee fund, which is there primarily to support businesses and startups to be able to access the right funding to start their businesses.
I feel like the growth potential of entrepreneurship system here in Rwanda is very promising. As an example, we've been 2 years into business now, and we've reached roughly 12,000 individuals in just 2 years, which is very promising for a business that is just starting up. And we've been able to partner and gain exposure to a lot of opportunities given the government's effort to push people who are starting in businesses. So I would say it's a very promising industry.
The government has set the arena for fruitful entrepreneurship through the entrepreneurship policy, creating entrepreneurship curriculums in secondary schools, and by financing initiatives to further support entrepreneurial initiatives. However, the government can only do so much without collaborating with the private sector. Here is how the Ministry of Trade and Industry is navigating these partnerships.
We work, of course, with entrepreneurship support organizations so that they can develop their capacities, they can increase in number. And so organizations like Norskin, like K-Lab, Fab Lab, West Vela, and many other support organizations, AMI, Business Partners Network, really to ensure that there is a network of support organizations that can be there to provide capacity building for entrepreneurs.
Rwanda's entrepreneurship has been bearing fruits. More startups are rising, BDS organizations are taking in more impressive cohorts of enterprises at a higher frequency. The innovative growth across the country speaks for itself. As Rwanda continues to grow its entrepreneurial ecosystem, there still remains a few gaps.
For me, the biggest gap is the fact that most of the events were centralized in Kigali, right? And so I really would like to have more of a, as we close, maybe your question is, and I can just, you know, as we,
you can highlight
it's
that.
really a call to invite, you know, for the next Global Entrepreneurship Week, various, you know, ecosystem players, you know, from academia to entrepreneurship support organizations, and to really come together, especially for the next Global Entrepreneurship Week 2023. We really look forward to having more events outside of Kigali.
No, I think one of the biggest challenges that we face is that there's sprouting up a lot of support organizations, but sometimes the coordination of those initiatives can be lacking. There's situations where there's overlap and duplication of efforts, and so I think there's need for a more.
That is a call to action and a challenge for entrepreneurs in Rwanda. The grounds have been created for innovation. Business development support organizations have sharpened their efforts, and the government welcomes scalable solutions with open arms. The final mandate lies with the entrepreneurs to truly embrace collaboration. Thank you for watching this episode of Doing Business in Rwanda. To engage further, you can write to us on our Twitter handle at CNBC Africa or tag me directly at @themurungisara. Thank you for watching.